Hi, good morning. I hope you're having a good day because I am not. I just woke up and looked in the mirror, realized how tired I look. Yeah, I've been having some very tough time, and for the past few weeks I didn't really get much sleep and was all stressed out. So I thought today would be a great opportunity for me to use myself as an example to show you what can you do to cover up your bags and dark circles. So yeah, I mean, we all have tough times here and there, so I guess this video should be helpful for those of you who have similar problems as me as far as our under eye area concerned. And then of course it has to do with makeup, so if you don't wear makeup or don't know or don't care to wear makeup, then I guess you can stop right here. Okay, so when it comes to our under eye area, there are mainly two issues that we are fighting against. One is our under eye circle, which is called dark circles, and secondly is bags. So I don't know which of the problems you have. It's all genetic, and if you happen to be lucky like me, I have both problems. So today you'll get to see it all. Now, well, obviously the best way to cover up is doing what I'm doing right now, to wear glasses, or you could also wear a hat, which you have this, I guess it's like usually what makes you look bad and tired is when you have light hitting from the top. So if you are wearing a cap, hat, whatever, that's gonna help. Now, if you really can't wear a hat or wear glasses, and then you can do the following. Now, as you can see, my problems, as you can see here, I have first of all, dark circle. Well, my dark circle is not dark because it's different depending on everyone's skin tone. Mine is kind of reddish, and so that's dark circle. And then secondly, I have bags. So how do you tell bags from dark circle is that the bags are usually puffy. You can see when you touch it, there's little fatty tissue. And then also if you look downward, like if you tilt down your face, they look even worse. So that's how you can tell whether you have an under eye, whether you have a dark circle or a bag. So now I'm gonna show you how to get rid of both visually. Can't really get rid of them unless you go through some kind of plastic surgery or treatments or procedures. So what you can do with my favorite concealer kit, and I think that's all you need. We'll see as we go along. Now, as far as covering dark circles concerned, we have to start with either a green or a yellow palette. So for mine issue, if you happen to have the similar color as mine, if it's red, you want to put on some green first because that's going to help to reduce the redness. And you can use a little brush or fingers, whichever you prefer. I'm not fuzzy about tools, as long as you know how to work it. Now, the first thing you realize that it looked kind of ridiculous when you first put the green on because it's actually making it look more apparent, right? But don't worry about it, it's okay. So when you apply it, just try to be, I guess it takes practice, don't put on too much, or if you put on too thin of a layer, it's not gonna cover the redness either. So as you can see now, the redness is pretty much gone, and it looks pretty green and bright looking, which is okay. You can just leave it. And then so for those of you who only have dark circle problem, after you apply this green layer, the next thing you want to do is pick a concealer with the shade that's closer to your skin tone, which in this case I usually go with a mix of the lighter one and the medium one, and then just tap a very thin layer and go above it. But I'm not gonna do it right now. Let's see. Okay. But I'm not gonna do it right now because I am not quite finished with my situation here is a little bit complex, so I need to also work on my bags. Now, what do we do with these bags? So first of all, you have to understand why do they look that way, and and that's how you can make them look less apparent. So the bags are puffed up, so it's kind of like in a 3D, like 3 dimension. So because of that, it's the shadow beneath your bags that's really making them look puffy. So what we're really working on is not the bags, it's actually the shadow area. So what do we do with shadows, right? We have to brighten them. We have to brighten it and lighten it up. And what we do is, here in my case with my skin tone, I use this yellow, and what you do is you kind of outline your bags. I mean, if your bags are not as bad as mine, you probably have to tilt down more. As you can see, as I tilt down my face, you can see it much more apparent. Okay, I'm really not feeling well. Okay, anyways, so then you just keep going. Again, not fuzzy about tools. You can just use something small, something that gives you precision. Just outline your bags. Yeah, it looks really funny right now, but I guarantee you it's gonna be okay. So the next step is you need to smudge it. Now, it's kind of tricky how you smudge it because you don't want to smudge it all around it. So what you need to do is smudge it downward so that you're kind of blending the line in with your skin tone. Again, this is gonna take some practice, so don't expect to do it right the first time. Just be patient, and it's gonna work. Okay. Now, as you can see, after you smudge it, you can actually see that maybe some of the areas was a little thin. I didn't put enough on. So this is when you can add a little bit back in to give sufficient coverage here, which is the worst spot for me that has the biggest shadow right underneath my bags. Again, so you kind of repeat the same step. You smudge it downward so that it blends into your skin. Okay, now that's done. So the final step is similar to what I was telling you about covering up the dark circle, is that you blend the concealer that's similar to your skin tone, which I use kind of a combination of these two here, and I put on a very thin layer on my finger. Again, make sure it's really thin because otherwise you're gonna look very funny, because that's how makeup works. You have to do it just right. Now, with this layer, extra final layer that you're gonna put on, you'll see the result, how it's gonna conceal both of your dark circle and your bag completely. Okay, there. Now, obviously, well, now you can see the clear difference between this side and the other side because I haven't done anything to this side of my face. So, obviously, it's not magic, so your bags you will not completely disappear. But as you can see here, is that it's not as obvious, and hope you'll find this helpful. Please note that individual results may vary, as we're all born with different forms and conditions. Remember, perseverance is the key. Let's not give up on our youth. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions or tricks to share, please email me. We can experiment together.